Hi friends, so it was really a boom on the markets today. So we have been speaking from quite a long time that the market is due for a big blast. There's a due for it's a big bomb blast, and today it has happened. And we all were waiting for this day. Now today's close and today's movement is very essential. I'll give you the reasons why the closes are very important of all the important indexes, and what has changed in the markets now. But before we go that, we'll just take a small glimpse of the global markets from where we generally start. So yesterday, when we were closing down, we had around 600 points down, futures down, and around 400 points down on Nasdaq, which means around 1.5 to 2%. The futures were trading lower for the US markets. And I told yesterday also that it's a very good close for our Nifty because in spite of the futures being down by such a long margin, we actually closed on day high. So it was showing a resilience in the market. It was looking like the markets want to give a thumbs up to the budget, but just because of this news, the markets are not able to rally. But still, the markets, the dip which was there yesterday due to foreign global news, it was a dip which was bought, and that's why we closed the day high. So it was giving clear signals that today could be a day, or whenever these global clouds are overshadowed, we'll get a good rally onto our markets. I told yesterday also that there is a window available till Tuesday night, wherein probably Canada and Mexico and Mr. Trump will try to address the issues and find solutions on the table. This is what exactly happened yesterday. And with Mexico and Canada, now they have been given around 30 days extra for the sanctions to begin. This was cheered by the US markets yesterday, and a big relief rally happened after a big dip to start with. And all the benchmarks closed in red, but the margin was very less, around 0.3%, 0.4% on Dow, and probably quarter of a percentage, 0.75% or so on the Nasdaq and other indexes. So what has happened? Mexico has told that they will deploy around 10,000 troops on the border. Canada has also told that they will deploy around 10,000 soldiers on the border. This was the biggest problem which the America was facing in terms of illegal immigrants. And Mexico has also told that uh, they will be coming hard on the drug mafia which is existent in the Mexico. Mexico has also requested Trump to stop the illegal arrival of the weapons from America to Mexico, which actually strengthens this kind of a drug mafia, and the local police of Mexico, is not able to handle these things. So some kind of a to and fro transitions have happened between Mexico to a greater extent, and Canada also. And Canada has also bought some helicopters. They bought some defense weapons from America, and some kind of a deal has been reached, and probably 30 days more has been given, which means that within this time, again, some solutions will be sought and the matter will be resolved. Today, the Chinese markets were also closed. They will open tomorrow, but today is the last day where the Chinese sanctions will take off. So, once we had this news in the US markets yesterday, we had a decent cut. So, yesterday, when we were closing, the dollar index was closing around 109.5 levels. But as soon as this news came, the dollar index also cooled off, and probably we closed around 108.7, 108.8 kind of levels yesterday. So it was a good cool off. The bond yields were trading very lower. It reached actually 4.5 in intraday, but after this news, it again inched up and it reached around 4.54 or something of those levels. But they were comfortable. They were not going up, and it was looking comfortable. So because of this news and because of this deal between Trump and Mexico and Canada, we were anyways expecting a big gap up. So we opened around 100 points above. That is how we were starting our session. But as I told yesterday that once this global things will gets resolved, we are looking for 24,000 kind of a levels, and eventually to 24,500. We'll review the levels once again. This is what the market cheered, and the rally, which was due on the budget day or the next day, which got dampened due to this global news, actually took off today. And we had a good rally in the first hour or 2 hour session only. But then we saw a big sell off once again into our markets because Bloomberg gave a report that China is putting counter tariffs on America in order to retaliate this particular move of American sanctions on China for, so not sanctions, tariffs of 10%. So, in order to retaliate on these tariffs of America, China has now announced that they will also be putting a lot of tariffs on America in order to counter this attack from America. I will also like to tell you that today there is a phone call aligned or lined up between Xi Jinping and between the Chinese president and Mr. Trump, which is the American president. Probably they will be talking about these sanctions, and the intention from China, which we are listening, is that they want to struck a deal, but they also don't want to kneel down too much to Americans' demands. That's how the setup would be. My internal feeling is that probably it will not happen that you will be able to reach a deal today itself. It might not happen, and the reason is that both these gentlemen, Xi Jinping and Donald Trump, they are kind of an anarchist. They want to lead, they want to have impressions on the world, they don't want to give up, they're high on egos. So generally these kind of clashes do appear when you start appearing for these kind of negotiations and deals. In this kind of deals you have to be somber and you have to understand the bigger advantage for your countrymen rather than your ego. But these two gentlemen are something different, and definitely it will not be easy. See, for Canada and Mexico, the reaching of the deal was easy. These two countries are smaller countries, but China is a big country. It's number two country in terms of everything, and it will not be easy for Trump to struck a deal. Uh, so yesterday, when these sanctions were put between Canada and Mexico, American markets also jittered. There were fears. Yesterday, we were talking about a lot of reports are coming now. The inflation will cross 3%. Some of the spokesperson from Fed also came that we don't like these kind of things from Trump. This will actually delay the path of interest rate cuts, and probably will not be seeing any interest rate cuts if these things continue. So there was a lot of backlash in terms of American soil as well. Also, we discussed yesterday that there will be a decrease of dip of around 1.5% on American GDP also. So that is why Trump also didn't want. He only is using this probably tariffs as a tool to struck deals with these countries. But the problem is these countries also do understand this kind of a trick. They are not novice. They also understand that whatever Trump want to give us advantage with these tariffs is just a tool, because these kind of tariffs are not even good for American soil as well. So we have spoken from spokesman from this probably Fed also, and yesterday JP Morgan has told that now we are seeing around 5% cut on S&P. We not be very bullish, and all these high tech stocks in Nasdaq will probably undergo correction, because the kind of P multiples these companies are enjoying, with this kind of uncertainty, these kind of multiples cannot be given to these countries. See, why I'm speaking this length on US is because the reason for one of the bigger sell-off in terms of FIs has been, one, of course, the dollar index, the rupee getting weakened. But the another problem is that US markets have been very strong, and most of the foreign portfolio investors feel that that is a safe haven to invest. So we should invest in dollars, we should invest in US markets, or we should invest in bonds of America. So if those kind of markets start jittering, if we see that those kind of tops are getting made, for example, in dollar index, which we saw on 110, which is now difficult to breach. This is my feeling. Also, those kind of Nasdaq and Dow levels which we have seen, if those kind of markets start topping out, then the FIs will start looking for alternatives. And this budget has given them a reason to look India as a favorable destination now for getting into an alternate investment market, which is India. They cannot go to China, because China always there will be a fear of tariffs. This tariff war and trade war can always commence anytime. Mr. Trump is very very unpredictable, so they can't go to China. Mr. Trump does not want to leave Europe. Also, he wants to put a lot of tariffs there as well. So there is a fear there also. So all these kind of uncertainties, India now probably will like to become as a winner because of, again, which I told yesterday, on the fiscal consolidation, which everybody will like it, especially the FIs. They want to invest in a country which is low on debt, which are into fiscal consolidation, which are enjoying a lot of good fiscal policies coming into picture. That's why I say the budget was magical. The budget was a game changer yesterday or on Saturday. It was really a game changer. You will see the fruits in some time to come. But we'll come to the markets now. So what happened? China, which I told that Bloomberg was giving some news that China also want to put tariffs. I think it's a positioning they want to do before this phone call, which is going to happen between China and America. So what they're telling, I'll tell you what they're telling. So China want to put 15% tariff on coal and LPG of American imports. They want to put export related tax on tellurium and tungsten related materials. They also want to they want to put PVH Group and Illumina Corporation of US on an unreliable entity list. They also want to put 10% tariffs on oil and agri machines, and China wants to probe Google on antitrust matters. So these are the starting tariffs and some of the announcements which Chinese news were giving via Bloomberg today during the markets, and that is why markets reacted. You will see that we were trading around 215 points above, and the Bank Nifty were trading around 800 points above. Suddenly, this dip came. This dip came because of this positioning from China when this phone call will happen. Now, at the close, but markets still rallied apart, even considering these kind of news, which is not good for the markets, but still the markets were rallying. So there are two implications out of it. One is the market is now feeling that the Trump is only using this as a tool, and ultimately a negotiation will be done, and tariffs will be not imposed, or some kind of a deal will be made. That is one thing. Second is they feel, or the FIs feel, with all things which will, or with all kind of uncertainty around us, whether India can become a good destination for deployment of money. So that is the second thing which we can think of. If the markets or the people are thinking on the second option, then it's a big plus for India. Then probably even our 24,500 levels will revise upwards, and we'll come to that later on. But I would assume, and I would really, I would really pray that this is what is in the minds of people. That would be actually good news. If in the first part, then it will be temporary. So, uh, even with this kind of news, the markets closed on day high. We closed above very important levels. One more thing is that our rupee was also stronger today by 12 paisa because of the markets, dollar index coming down. And dollar index today also is trading downwards around 108.5 levels. So if it reaches 105, nothing like it, but we'll see how when it happens, and whether it will happen or not. But these fundamental parameters cooling off were giving signals that probably FIs are also now interested in Indian markets. Today's market action is telling probably that I will not think that there will be big sell figures from FIs. In fact, I would assume there is short covering. There would be short covering from FIs because yesterday a lot of shorts were added. Yesterday around 30,000 contracts short were added. 12,000 contracts of long were trimmed. So yesterday there was a lot of positioning. I think all those shorts have been covered now, and probably I would feel longs would have been again added. My internal feeling is today we'll see some kind of a cash buying also in FIs. Although this number will come at around 6 o'clock, we don't know. But the kind of stocks were rallying, the kind of buying we were seeing, either the sell number will be very less in cash, or it will be probably positive as well. That is where you need to see. That is where the traders need to have a close eye now. If at all FIs start buying in cash, I think the markets will loom from here. They will just boom from here. You'll see a big rally into the markets. Now, this is what the global market in our markets. The good thing which I told as of now, but I'll just complete this Trump part, and so then we'll come to the markets once again. So one other thing is there that Mr. Modi is going to meet Mr. Trump on 13th of Feb. Again, a very very good reason to believe in our markets. So I think probably he's the first uh, foreign minister, foreign prime minister or president who's going to meet Mr. Trump. Even with this kind of or this kind of tariffs happening between Canada and Mexico, there was no meeting between Trump and Canadian president or Mexican president, who are close neighbors, who are one of the biggest trade partners. He only had a phone call. Now he's meeting Mr. Modi, and he's going on 13th February, which is a very good news. Mr. Modi can now try to gain a lot of momentum. He can take a lot of leverage out of this meeting, and probably that is the intention. And Mr. Trump also not naming India after the election he has won for putting a lot of tariffs. He's excluding India again and again from the list. That's again a good news, which means India will try to achieve as a winner. Probably Trump will also try to use India as a China plus one strategy because he also knows that it will not be easy to defeat China on tariffs. Also, the solutions to between China and US will not be as easy as it has happened with Canada and Mexico. So he need some more negotiation tools to deal with China. And one of the powerful alternate or a member or a country which can emerge is India. Trump and Mr. Modi anyways has good relations in his first term. Probably that can also be leveraged. India has already given some signals in terms of import duty cuts. So India has cut tax. They reduced the taxes on costly bikes by 10%, so it's now around 40%. We have also reduced the import duty on the luxury cars. Now it is 70% from current 125%. So we already given signals that yes, before even you put in tariffs or putting or you threatening us, we are already in kind of a discussion mode. We want to give you a leverage. We want to come into a deal, and we want to have a good trading partner with you. Already India has given signals, and I think it was a master move in the budget which has been happened, and India has already done that. So there's another news which you need to keep a close watch. Now, why I say the markets have been closed on very critical level. So the markets have closed above the budget highs, whether it is in Nifty and whether it is in Bank Nifty. They have closed above the budget highs, and they have closed very, very comfortably, and they were in no mood to give up your gains. Yes, people would say it can be an expiry kind of a move. No, because there was buying between 300, 310 to 330 also. The markets were almost closing on day high. There were no signs of market giving up on these levels. Even with the bad news of Bloomberg, we closed on day high and we closed above the levels of our budget levels, which is very important. We're already trading about 22 average, 20-day moving average on both on Nifty and Bank Nifty. The next level to watch for Nifty would be around 23,800 kind of a levels, where you have 100-day exponential moving average, and the 200-day exponential moving average is also very close, around 23 970 kind of a levels. I don't remember the exact thing, but it's around that. So these are the levels which we like to breach. If today some kind of a deal happens between China and US, the world will now feel a comfort. They will feel that probably the world will remain stable, and that kind of a rally again you will see in Indian markets. S&P has given a thumbs up to our budget. They're very happy to see the budget. We were seeing some reports from even I think Finch, which also told it's a neutral budget. This will lead to a good fiscal consolidation. So they're pretty happy with that as well. So the global players and the global brokerages are also very happy on the Indian budget. And everybody is now excited about the future of India, because we are assuming that from our last 5.5% growth of Q2, which may remain sluggish in Q3 as well, but slowly India will again move up to from the current 5.5 kind of a GDP growth to at least 6.5 GDP growth. So if you remember, the economic survey has also given you a GDP growth of around 6.3 to 6.8%. The markets are now considering to believe that we'll reach that 6.5% of our GDP very soon. Probably in 1 or 2 quarters we'll reach there. So that is solved. But the problem, but the intention is what we're looking for is to reach above 7% GDP levels. That is where the RBI policy on 7th will be very critical, which is coming on Friday. We'll have a watch and dot, watch on what close watch on that. If the fiscal policy is also strengthened by monetary policy, then it will be a gung ho for markets, and we'll see a really big rally in terms of Indian market, because that means fiscal and monetary policy are both coming together for a big rally into the markets. The government is very serious and wants to solve this problem of slow GDP growth and job creation. Now, since our markets are closing above our good levels, we have closed and we're very nearing to those 100-day moving average, 200-day moving average levels kind of a thing. Just keep a close watch. Once we close about 24,000 on Nifty and probably 50,500 on Bank Nifty, around which I think 100, 200 points plus and minus, where those levels of 200 exponential moving average are placed. Once we close or start trading above that, you'll see another leg of short covering, and probably we'll start reaching towards our levels of 24,500 Nifty and probably 51,000, 51,500 on Bank Nifty. But as of now, the markets are looking very good. They're looking pretty solid. And today, all the benchmark industries were in green, except for just slightly on the Nifty FMCG. But apart from that, Nifty Auto, Nifty Pharma, Bank Nifty, Nifty Autos, metals, everybody was in green. So we had a four-way kind of a buying. All the shares were bought, apart from slightly from FMCG. I'll tell you why FMCG, because market is still skeptical that this money which will come into the hands of people, this 1 lakh, or let's say the tax exemptions which finance minister has given, people are assuming that most of the money will be spent on discretionary spendings, which means like ordering autos, cars, electronics, ACs, TVs, Probably some of the things again go to stock markets in terms of SIP, some savings again, or to payment of the early payment of the SIP, the installments in terms of EMIs. So those kind of things will happen fast, and that's why the rally is coming into these kind of stocks even more. And FMCG will continue to probably remain stable, or there'll be a slight move from here on, because market is assuming that the competition is there for FMCG companies, not from this kind of a spending, because of spending from the lower segment of the people. It is because of the domestic competition, the local competition, or the regional competition which these companies are facing now. So it's a different story. We'll not go too deep on FMCG stocks or other stocks. But as of now, the close have been beautiful. We have closed above the budget highs, which means a thumbs up has been given to the markets. Moreover, the foreign brokerages are also very bullish. We are seeing now, even if you see the result of Asian Paints today, it was not very good. They was they just like the volume growth was slightly positive, but we saw a pullback in Asian stocks, Asian market, Asian Paint stock. So when these kind of stocks start performing on, even if the results are not good, that means the market is trying to form a bottom, or it's already formed a bottom, and the market's only looking forward from here. So exciting days to come. We'll be looking on how China and America pan out today. I'll be giving you a commentary tomorrow, or probably you will be also getting a lot of news. Nowadays, we all are into internet connected regime, so it becomes very easy to get the news. But anyway, I'll giving some of the input which I receive from the global markets, and we'll be eyeing now Delhi elections, which are going to happen tomorrow. May not be very important for us, but 7th is will be again a big day for Indian markets. Let's see how RBI also comes up and gives their opinions on the growth, inflation, and how they are looking into the markets. So considering all these things, I think it's a thumbs up for the markets once again. And who knows, we might see even bigger rally from here. Thank you for your time. Thanks, guys.